We're living by design again today. Hello and welcome. Today we're going to look at the effects of the emotional, mental and psychological well-being on our physical health. Sometimes we may think the opposite, that it is our physical well-being that makes us feel bad. It is often our mental and emotional state that has a very negative effect on our physical health. If we look at this heart, it looks very much intact, very healthy, and even the healthiest heart can stop beating. That is the graph that we normally get when we have a healthy heart. And whatever we do, we're trying to keep this heart healthy, but prevention of heart diseases is not enough to stop the heart from beating. Some people have perfectly healthy hearts and it stopped beating because the heart has been broken in an emotional way. When we nurture our bodies, it is important to have the physical body well, to eat well for the heart as well. But most importantly, when we nurture in this fashion. The green here permeating throughout the whole body, your ethereal soul. That is number one that we should be nurturing. Our heart should be nurtured because our heart physically may be the driver of the bloodstream in the body. But if we look at heart in a spiritual sense, it is the driver of our environment, of our aura. And then lastly, we have to nurture for the brain, and that says all the information that we acquire, we need to process it in such a way that it helps to nurture the rest of our being. Now, nurturing the soul, nurturing the heart, and nurturing the head are three very, very different things. We're going to talk first of all about the soul. And we see that the soul is ethereal. We cannot pinpoint where the soul is. We can pinpoint that's where the heart is. We know where the brain is, but we do not know where the soul is. I have my own story about soul that I'm going to relate to you right now. My story about soul is that I have been sitting with my sister in my arms, and she was just very tired. And in my arms, as I looked at her face, she just went. The same body was in my arms, but it was no longer alive. What happened? I looked into her face at the time when she passed. I didn't see anything, but it went from a live body to a lifeless body. Everything was still there. The brain was still there. The heart was still there. But it just stopped beating. The heart wasn't sick at all. The soul departed. We need to nurture that soul so we could have a wholesome life. It would not prevent the soul from departing when it has to, but it at least would be the driver of our well-being. How do we nurture the soul? When the soul is whole, when the soul is healthy, we are happy and healthy. It is when we are at loggerheads, when our soul and our heart sometimes compete. Sometimes the soul wants something, the heart wants something else. And worst of all, the brain says something totally different. When these three are in sync, that is when we have contentment. That is when our bodies are functioning as a whole, and we can see the radiance, we can feel the health that need to be alive, to be vibrant is there. And we nurture the soul in very different ways. We have different cultures, we have different religions, we have different backgrounds, and each of us have our own way of nurturing that soul. So find that way that nurtures your spirituality, that nurtures that soul. And what is it in your religion, in your culture, that helps you to be a whole person? I often relate the phrase, the best of mankind are those who are most beneficial to mankind. We can only be of benefit to somebody if we know what their needs are. And in different cultures, they have different needs. Our psychological needs And emotional needs are also very important. And we should not neglect the physical. Quite often there is a hype against this world and the physical. That is where we live. We are physical beings. Our physical body houses the soul, and we have to keep that physical body healthy and well as well. Nurturing the soul, establish your own little niche. Find your own corner and do what you feel is comfortable for you to keep your soul whole, to nourish that soul in such a way that there is no conflict between the heart, the soul, and the mind. It is very difficult. Often we do not get there, and we have to accept that nobody is perfect. So does perfect ever exist? So just do what you feel you are comfortable with, that you feel will be of benefit to yourself in the hereafter, and it will be of benefit to mankind as well. With this little quote, I leave you to be happy and healthy.